that that balance is the thing that you need. And but even with that in mind, even when I was learning, I was never told by anyone who was active and involved in the movement. No one ever told me, "Oh, Adam, you talk too much," or "Shut up, Adam," or no one ever shut me up. No one ever dumbed me down. People accepted what I was saying because they valued what I had to say. And one of the main reasons why I advocate the Zeitgeist movement is because I see this act of valuing things that people say just as much as you value what you have to say as a good thing. And to contrast with our current paradigm, people don't like to think. People like to be stupid. Why? Why do people like to be stupid? What does it benefit them? And I'll tell you, what it benefits them is that they don't need to think about things. If you're willfully ignorant, and if you're deliberately stupefying yourself, then you make things a hell of a lot easier on yourself. Now, some may argue that, people have definitely argued to me that thinking too much is bad, and that but to counteract that, as Danny Shine once said, independent thought leads to chaos. Thinking is boring. Thinking is hard work, and it's not worth the energy. Now, obviously, he was saying that ironically to satirize, general mainstream thinking, but he does have a point. That is really a reflection of how people think in today's society, or should I say, how people don't think. People actually draw pride from being so stupid. It's ridiculous. Why? Why do you... It frustrates me so much when people talk to me about, they give all these cliches. Ignorance is bliss, and I just cannot understand how the inactivity of thought can actually be more pleasant than the idea of being able to think about things in a really deep way and actually make profound realizations. Profundity, to me, is its own reward of thought. To me, being able to just sit down and contemplate something and possibly or possibly not, it depends on what you're thinking about, come to some sort of theoretical conclusion about something. That in itself brings pleasure to me, knowing that I can use my brain. What do we have brains for in the first place? Come on, guys. We weren't given brains to not use them. I'm sorry. I hate to get quite tetchy about this, but this is something that really does frustrate me about people that I see so many examples of people who really, really do use their brains and can really come up with some really wonderful things. One of my main influences in life has been Bill Hicks, and the fact that he never accepted ignorance as a solution to anything. He recognized that thought is the one thing that enables us to filter through our own reality and see for ourselves what we want to achieve, what we want to avoid, what we want to be. Thought is the only process that you can truly find yourself. And maybe, in a way, people don't want to find themselves. Why don't people want to find themselves? Maybe because they will realize that as they are inadequate. They will realize that up until that point, their lives have been really pointless, that they've been working for nothing more than just being a cog in the machine. And it is hard. It was hard for me when I first started to really think along the lines of the train of thought that we advocate in the Zeitgeist movement and the Venus Project. It was very hard for me. I struggled to accept the fact that up until that point my life really was a lie. I found it hard to accept that I wasn't really doing anything to make the world a better place, and that I didn't care. I mean, I suppose I do take that back. I've always cared, but I've never, until I came across the movement, I've never really had a feasible way to make that happen. I've never really had a direction. I mean, I've always been primed with the right fuel, but I haven't been pointed in the right direction. I mean, I've been shown other directions where I've tried to go up, and I've realised, oh wait a minute, no, this is all self-defeating. Go back to square one, you know. And I've just been spinning my wheels. But when I've actually realised what can be done, that brings so much pleasure. And that's one of the main reasons why I advocate it. I'm sure all the many other people who post up these videos to say why I advocate the Zeitgeist movement, you know, I think I'm going to leave it to. I mean, even Peter himself, he listed reasons why the monetary system has to go. I'm going to leave it to those people to say those kinds of things. For me, it's more of an intellectual standpoint. The fact that that in our current system, people are made to not want to think. You know, it doesn't benefit our current system to think. It doesn't benefit our current system to you know, think about your life and where it's going and what the hell it has to do with the world as a whole. Seriously. People's lives seem to be shrunken into this small box where the only thing that comprises the box is their Facebook pages, their job, their family, their friends, and their home. That's it. You know, so some people not even expansive as that. Some people, it's just about them and their immediate survival. It's a bit like the Living Colour song, Go Away. I see the starving Africans on TV. I feel it has nothing to do with me. And that's the sad reality. The fact that people see the suffering of other people as nothing to do with themselves. They don't see that we all share this planet. They don't see that we are all in this together. They don't see that we need to change in ourselves in order to make the world a better place. People think that people are so twisted up by monetary politics that they think that the best way to bring about any kind of change is to bring about some piece of legislation. They think that the only way to bring about some kind of change is to, I don't know, do your bit for recycling, you know, throw a little money towards Oxfam, do your Christmas shopping in cancer research. While they are altruistic actions in of themselves, they're not going to do anything in the long run. Okay, they're not going to do anything in the long run. The only way to make this world a better place is to completely overhaul the system. It's the system itself that has done this. And the minute we realise that, that is the minute that we can actually change the world, I think. You know, I've realised that the advocation of the movement is the only way that we're going to bring all this stupidity, all this disparity, all this destruction, all this suffering, all this greed. As far as I'm concerned, it's the only course of action if we hope to survive. The only course of action.